All right, a little bit of history here. Since 1949, China has claimed Taiwan as part of its territory after the Civil War ousted the Nationalist Party from the island. The One China policy came into play with relative peace since then. But now, increasingly, Taiwan-China relations have begun to sour, with the West fanning the flames. Between the U.S. conducting war games with Taiwan and now the U.K. sending warships to the South China Sea, Beijing responded with 56 warplanes buzzing over Taiwan's air defense zone on Monday. The Taiwanese saying they're very concerned that China is going to launch a full-scale war. For analysis, we will turn to former UK MP George Galloway. So, George, Beijing buzzed Taiwan yesterday, warships in the South China Sea today. Why is the UK sending warships to this region?
Well, Freud could have a field day. We have an exceedingly small, puny Royal Navy. And Freud could have a field day with us sailing all the way to the South China Sea to wave these puny assets around. It's purely theatre. The United Kingdom's naval force, indeed entire military force, short of a nuclear war, of course, could make no material difference in any conflict between China and Taiwan, which would be nasty, brutish, but above all, short. China would conquer Taiwan in an afternoon, and anyone who was foolish enough to try and intervene would be very quickly dealt with also. It's just political theatre, but it is exceedingly dangerous theatre.
Now, George, the Kuomintang party, which favors closer ties to the mainland, lost the elections in 2016, bringing Tsai Ing-wen and the Democratic Progressive Party to power. She has since chosen to bring Taiwan closer to the West, specifically emphasizing the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act. Do you find Ms. Tsai responsible for these heightened tensions, or is the U.S., who disregarded President Xi Jinping's request to stop selling offensive arms to the island, at fault here?
Well, both are responsible, but you have to grasp, as the viewers do, you know it. This feeling is mutual. China considers Taiwan to be part of China, and Taiwan considers Taiwan to be part of China. They just want a different government in Beijing. You said 1949, but in fact, 1945, at the foundation of international order after the Second World War, very clearly delineates Taiwan to be part of China. It's as much a part of China as Texas is a part of the United States. And so you've got to ask yourselves, as an American people, how would you feel if China was doing everything it could to try and get Texas to declare independence and separatism from the United States? I think we both know the answer to that.
Well, George, I would say there's a pretty fair sum of people that would like to see Texas secede from the Union. I'm not sure it would be China that would be the party that would get them to do so. But on that note, does Taiwan, do they have a right to full independence? Do they have a right to secede, depending on, I guess, who's in charge?
No more than, let me choose another state then, no more than Illinois. No more than Illinois has a right to break away from the United States. You guys fought a very bitter, long and bloody civil war to protect the unity of your country, and China would do the same. So any declaration of independence by Taiwan would immediately result in war. A nasty war, a brutish one, and a short one.
Yeah.
And the leadership in Taiwan would discover, as Ashraf Ghani did in Afghanistan, that the United States has a limited taste for endless war, and they're not going to fight China on behalf of a renegade province.
Yeah, certainly a bad look for the U.S. with Afghanistan. And lastly, George, real quick, a few years ago, we saw the U.K. returning Hong Kong to China. It appeared as though the Western Empire had just relinquished the quest for imperialism of the East. But on this subject of Taiwan, the UK, hand in hand with the U.S., now looking to venture at least into influence, not imperialism, to counter China's growing strength. Is this effort going to work?
No, it's an act of national self-harm. The United Kingdom's economic interests, its political interests are not served by being the tail of the American dog or the pedalo to the American fleet in the South China Sea. It is because we are more keen to suck up to the United States than to peddle our own canoe, to continue the maritime metaphor, that we are doing this. It's against our interests. It's against the interests of peace and stability in the world. And as I say, it really is pure theatre. You see, this is vital to grasp. The US will not go into what would be world nuclear war with China over the Paracel Islands or over Taiwan. The rest is just kabuki theatre. And the people have got to grasp this. So it's all gamesmanship. It's all death-defying theatrical stunts, and it runs the risk of accident. Somebody could press the wrong button, pull the wrong trigger somewhere in Manila, and before we know it, the world is in flames. Asia first, but the rest of us afterwards. So I really urge the US people to tell their government to dial it down. Nobody wants their son, daughter to die in uniform over the Paracel Islands or over Taiwan.
You got that right. We've got a war-weary nation here stateside, George. Great analysis as always. George Galloway, thank you for being with us.